Okay. Hey, how are... I'm okay. I'm okay. How are you? Yeah, it's nice to have it all done and dusted before, well, before the end of the week. Midweek is a nice time to finish. Yep. Nice. Perfect. Eyes on the US stock markets, on gold. Gold is considering, it's thinking about it. It's thinking about making a move to the upside. Um, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about any of this stuff. So, the only decent movement that was clean and clear today was the pound pairs. They made a nice move up so far. The rest has been a little bit choppy. I've lost money trying to take trades on other bits and pieces. So then I reverted back to just taking longs on the pound pairs every time they pulled back. But they're very, very slow. They, apart from that impulsive move to kickstart everything, it's kind of dragged its heels up, and so I've just not held anything, just been scalping it. Yeah. Test 7500. I haven't enjoyed trading that, so I haven't bothered. Said it again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was an early lunch. Well, I didn't have any breakfast. I've not really eaten anything this morning, so yeah, I had a piece of steak left over. so it needed cooking. I thought, yeah, let's do that. And we had some vegetables ready, prepped for this evening's dinner. So I just nicked a few of them and, yeah, added a few other bits and pieces. Just open the fridge up and, yes, that's it. Rustle up a few bits and bobs. Yeah, healthy's good. Yeah. Blanch the veg in some water for about 4 or 5 minutes, bit of salt, and then throw them in that pan with the with the steak just to finish cooking it. At the end, just drizzle some olive oil over it and some balsamic vinegar, a bit of Worcester sauce, things like that. Whatever flavours. Sometimes I'll use bit of soy sauce. Sometimes just depends what we're going for. Bit of sea salt, bit of cracked pepper. What was that? I did use a little bit of butter, a little bit of butter on my mushrooms. A little knob of butter on the mushrooms. Got yeah, it needs a bit of flavour. All right, so this pound is remaining bullish. I was kind of hoping that they were going to have something finalised by today, but we're probably not going to get anything until tonight. We're still deadlocked ahead of the end of the Brexit transition period, which is the 31st of this month. So 31st of December is when it all is supposed to have the transitional period where, companies start having to do things differently if they're importing and exporting. You can't just send stuff to, receive stuff from Europe or send stuff across to Europe. We're having a nice little move down on the FTSE. Is there anything that you guys would like to look at?
Alex, did you check out the news that was on the other day? I think it was regarding, I think it was Barry Gary, the accounts management from JP Morgan, you know, like the US dollar weakening into 2021 or something like that.
Yeah, I sent some stuff like that out as well. I saw that. Yeah, that's what we were thinking in terms of dollar weakness.
Yeah, pretty much nothing so far. I mean, so that was just the one, I think, the pound yen, the only pair I have. Because I think even CAD JPY is moving up, currently ranging on the one end.
Yeah, we are just not really able to get aggressive on anything at the minute. I just want to get my teeth into something. I see some stuff out there. There was that Uncle Ted guy was talking about long on gold, and he was doing a break. That he gave a breakdown as to what he thought it would happen and how. And then he showed the amount that he was actually invested long. It was huge amounts, position sizing. So I don't know if he cashed out most of it at break even, or, I mean, he was up like 10, 20 pips perhaps, which is nothing in the grand scheme of things when it comes to gold. So he was looking at further upside longs, and then we had Sean Lee was talking about going short, and I think he got stopped out on his first attempt, but then he was back in again. I'm sure he made some money on this fallback from the 60s, well, from the 70s even, because he got in last night around 70, so that was a nice almost 200 pip drop. Yeah, I mean, but these moves aren't aggressive, and people are being too aggressive with these moves. They're trying to be far too aggressive with these moves. Here we go. So gold is pumping. Right, this is what I was just looking at gold now, because it's dropped back. We had a bit of a drop back to the low 50s, and I want to see it take out the previous structure on the smaller time frames, like the 15-minute.
Are you looking for the low structures to be broken and the high high?
I was looking at further upside. What's this?
Uh,
This is pound. So
I tried going short yesterday. I got stuck at 12 or something.
well, this is the projection in terms of, you know, a 50. It's a 50-50 at the moment. 50-50 bit of price action. So I'm not being aggressive until it makes itself known or clear as to what it wants to do. This is just consolidating in a range at a key area, 50%. So for me, this is just dead, really. I'm looking for something a little bit more appetising. All these people trading gold, and I'm looking at gold and thinking, what are you trading? How are you putting big trades on all this money going on gold? I'm thinking, it doesn't make any sense. It's not doing anything. What's it doing? Can anyone tell me what gold is doing? Is it long or is it short? I mean, do you know? It should take you 2 seconds to kind of establish that. If it takes you some minutes to work it out and you're unclear, then that means it's no trade. And for me, I'm looking at it thinking, this is telling me nothing. But yeah, I'm seeing people saying, oh yeah, we're putting these big volume trades on gold. I'm like, okay, good luck with that.
Yeah, gold hanging out in the same area as yesterday about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning.
So yeah, so I don't understand it myself. I don't understand what people are seeing. It makes me question whether they are actually trading with real money and a real size account, or if it's just making it up as they go along. I don't know, because I just think if you've got all this money, why is there a need to be trading so aggressively? Yeah, weekly I saw that it was long this week, and it's made a nice move up. My concern was yesterday when I saw people. Yeah, yeah. So I've seen it. I see monthly as well. Daily we had a bearish candle on the daily, and so I was a little bit concerned with why people were trying to take a long here. Like when it's made this move up, why are you still trying to take a long? Are you going to sit in a 300 pip, 400 pip drawdown? I can't see how that's good trading. Unless of course you're swing trading, but the volumes that I saw people putting on wasn't swing trading volumes. It was looking for some movement, and it was just astronomical amounts. Made me question that this person must have like millions and millions and millions, and that they've just got nothing else better to do. To me, that wasn't good trading at all. I'm talking about Uncle Ted, really. He shared some stuff, didn't he? He did a breakdown. I think he overanalyzed it personally. I was sitting there thinking, you're overanalyzing this. I was like, I can appreciate you probably want to go long on it, but you really want to buy in the 70s? He's putting positions on long in the 70s. And if it's to be believed, there were astronomical amounts of money. I couldn't, don't know.
You're saying he went long at 1870?
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
It is currently I think it's like reacting off that daily order block that you have marked.
Yeah, that was an area of interest. Yeah, I was kind of looking for a drop back personally, but maybe we've had the drop back. Maybe it's just done it now with. Let's have a look. 50% of this move. I was looking at this impulsive drive up, and then it's given a chunk of it back. I was thinking maybe a 61.8 or a 764 of this pullback. So let's let's have a look at it on the 1 hour, and let's look at this current price action where we had the nice move up yesterday. So if you were long yesterday, making some money on this long bullish move, fantastic. But where I was seeing people getting in, they were getting in up here at the end of the move, thinking it's just going to go higher, because I think something was said about the fact that gold, when it rallies or when it trends really well, and we know that, and it can go quite hard. But I think you're kind of getting ahead of themselves and not really considering the fact that it has already made a decent move, and it's the end of the trading session, trading day, and what you're trying to do here is buy here at the end of the day. What you're gambling on the fact that the Asian markets are going to come in and pump it up again. I guess, I don't know. It was very strange. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, this is. I'm thinking for the downside potentially. I can't buy it here unless it does find some strong support at 55 and does start to go long, and finds that 38.2 as the first fib to provide the structure that you need. Just a bit of a stab down breakout, a false breakout of all of this consolidating range. So a little stab down, suck in a few sellers, and then maybe bounce off there and go long. Maybe that's going to be, what we're going to see. Maybe.
Because I think that's what price did back at 84. I think it's doing exactly the same thing, trying to take out those buyers who were long earlier on the series.
Yeah.
I think it's doing the exact same thing that it did back then, like 2 days back. Like take a long red down, take a weak short, and then just pump all the buyers in.
Yeah.
I think 76 is the number.
Yeah, maybe,
76, and then put in see if you can scalp a long.
Yeah, maybe a bounce here to go up. I'm just looking at all of this price action. That to me is unclear. You've got the EMAs just providing no clear understanding of whether it's going to be support or resistance. It's more a case of breaking the 50 EMA on the 1 hour and trading below. So quite simply, it's bearish below the EMA, bullish above. And we can come down to 61.8, which is at around 42, which would then come to rest and test that 200 EMA. That's potential for it to do a little drop. That's a 1 hour, so that gives you some intraday sort of ideas. It's pretty dead. It's like, what do you want to do here? Go long, go short. So then you take it on a 4 hour and have a little look, because on my 4 hour I have looked at this last massive move down from around 1966, and it's a similar story. We've been sat trading above the 200 EMA on the 4 hour. Been resting on that. That's a 50% fib as well at 1865. We've kind of bounced off that and reacted a little bit off it, and again we need to break above the 50, so we need to be above 65 for longs, and as long as it stays below, this can fail and curl over. And what was I doing here? Oh yeah, I was doing that, wasn't I, for the first move? And I think what we need to do is, wow, let's just use a 15-minute time frame. Let's gauge that. What we've done what we plotted on the 1 hour, let's actually plot it on the 15 minute, and then on the 1 hour look at a slightly bigger range. So we take this initial move up that we had yesterday, and we'll plot it like that. That's a bit cleaner and a bit clearer. And then what we'll do on the 1 hour, we will just clean that up a little bit. Bear with me. Let's get people involved. There's no one involved here. Right. That's good. That's all done. So yeah, let's get rid of that because we've plotted it on a 15 minute. Some people seem to get confused a little bit when it comes to plotting their support and resistance, and some people ask, is it supposed to be on, you know, which time frame do we use? And I say to them, it's not about the time frame. It's more about the the range. Makes sense, doesn't it? So I'll just do this one thing here. One thing that's done. So we will. The 4 hour trend line was broken. It was resting on there. Price was resting on it before it exploded to the upside. So it was a break of the trend line yesterday. That's a 1 hour time frame, but it's a 4 hour trend line. You can see coming all the way across. So what we do is we take the fibs and we say, right, where the move found some structure, some support down here around 60, 63, 64, and where it's currently stalled a little bit, which would make sense, around 75. So that's 1,000 pip. I mean, it's only 1,000 pip swing, which is why it's 50% of the other bigger range, which was about 2,000 pip move down. So it's retraced 50% of that. So it's all very organised, very structured. If you actually look at it in terms of that, there is method behind the madness. It's not just random movement of just of not making any sense. It's moving with purpose. And I think if you trade gold, it is very fib friendly. It does respect support and resistance. So when you guys do plot your support and resistance, do identify where they are, because they do work. Price does react healthily at these key areas. I say healthily, I mean more often than not, which is kind of cool, really, because we're playing a game of probability, aren't we? So if things happen more often than not, that's good. You won't get it every time, you won't win every time, but more often than not is going to be enough to make money. So yeah, we're just looking to see if this pump up is going to be continued to the upside, or if that was it. The pump up was the last pump up, and it's going to fade and drop. So a bigger move down would give us 1830 area, 33, bringing us all the way back down. But we'll see. We'll see if that's going to happen or not. So at the moment, you can argue that it's bullish when all is said and done. It's on its little bit of a bullish bias on the weekly and the monthly. It's on an upbeat kind of move, isn't it, to the upside, which I think some of you just said that as well, didn't you? So yeah, we just want to see how high or what sort of correction we get. So is that the correction? Maybe that's it. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit in limbo. Today's a bit of a weird one. Today's chart, today's time frame is a bit bearish. It's giving some back. So I want to see what sort of pullback we get on gold today. That's what we're seeing. Let's switch this up to a weekly and see what it looks like. Actually, let's go to monthly first and just see what it looks like. Because if this is just a pullback, then I expect by tomorrow to see another pump to the upside, another long move. So this is monthly. So monthly is very early still. Monthly, we're only 9 days into this month. So we can have the first half of this month put in some bullish momentum like we're seeing. The second part of the month could quite easily see this fail and go all the way back down and retest the lows and then some. And make another candle to the downside, because last month's candle, I sold on the premise that we had last month's candle was looking to close like this, a nice strong reversal candle. You see here where we've gone up, we've retraced 50% of that last little bit of that last range up here. Where it's come up here with the wick, that's actually 50% of this move up to about 1966, which we are, you can identify on a smaller time frame. So we did that, and then it's reversed. It was a clear reversal candle, and that's a monthly candle. And reflected on that as well as our first red bar. Again, this is a monthly time frame, so this has yet to close and yet to actually stay like that. But if this was to close like this at the end of this month and have a red candle, I'd be more inclined to see further downside. But anything can happen. This could just be a bit of an indication to say, okay, let's suck in some sellers and then we'll pump it up another go. So yeah, anything can happen. So you can't really do anything about the monthly. Just keep an eye on it and note it and maybe journalize it and say, okay, last month we had a bearish candle which could kickstart things for further downside, especially if they're seeing some positive vaccine results, or as they start to roll out the vaccine, that may well encourage further downside momentum on gold, because it's a safe haven commodity. Maybe, but then they could go back to stimulus. So we get more stimulus. We're going to see some more. How's the economy doing in America? Because gold's very much tagged to the American economy. So if you want to keep an eye on anything, keep an eye on the American economy. You took 2 trades now, short pound CAD and pound Swiss. Right, okay. Pound CAD and pound Swiss short. Okay. So, yeah, okay. You never know. Could be done to the upside. See what the Americans want to do. Do they want to take it all back down? Let's switch this to a weekly very quickly and just have a little look. So weekly should be bullish as well. Oh, this one looks a bit busy, this chart. Okay, let me just say 74. Okay, that's that. See if it wants to go here, break or not. Yeah, so there's a strong weekly trend line, and weekly saying, okay, we're going up, but getting ready for a potential big drop again. Starting to get an overextended signal here to short, and the indicators down here, my awesome indicator, my MACD, everything is maybe suggesting a break, a dip below. This is my storyteller, my awesome indicator. Yeah, so it's just sat at that 0 line. That's a lot of indecision. If that's trying to threaten to break down, so that that just says further downside, or another stab curl over, especially into next month or next week rather. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So at the moment, for me, this is, I can't go long or short on this. It's in the middle of nowhere at the moment. It's testing previous structure, which would suggest next week, so the next candle would be a downbeat candle, or it could just push up again and just get up to 1900 and test that trend line and then short off the trend line. It could do that. Right, markets are pretty dead. There's no major news until when's the news? The news is going to be at 3 o'clock. Canadian news at 3 o'clock. So 10 o'clock New York time.
The Nasdaq is retracing to 38 on the 1 hour. Which will trigger another iron.
Are you not taking any money off the table at all?
Look, at the moment, my stop losses are so far in profit, doesn't matter.
Okay.
So I don't need to take it off the table in case it moves up. I'll just move the stocks up and more profit.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I'm pretty safe though.
Hmm.
Thanks for asking that.
Yeah. Well, it gets quite late where you are, and I don't want you falling asleep and snoring away, and then finding that the markets tank on you while you're asleep. But
True. Just doesn't seem to anything is rally at the moment with the Nasdaq. It's just breaking new highs.
yeah, we are testing the highs on the Dow as well. We keep testing the highs on the Dow.
And look, there is stimulus, which they're talking about like nearly $1 trillion now.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they come up with. Okay, so
What I understand with the stimulus, they're talking about eliminating the stimulus checks for the people. Though I don't know if that's going to have an impact on what it does, but
Most of my exits are around the 1290 to 1300 at the moment, so I'm going for I might just leave one or two.
well, where did you say 12,900?
9
Yeah,
and 1300.
yeah, yeah. I remember you saying that. So when you said that the other day, there was about 500 pips or so to go. 500 points.
But I'm expecting a bit of a retracement soon. And then another quick drop, I guess. I mean, that's what it's been doing for the last week or so.
Yeah, I think like with the pound pairs, we may well see a bit of a sell-off this afternoon, and then a buyback up, like maybe an initial move down now as it starts to look like it wants to curl back down, but then get bought back up. So in terms of what sort of pullback we get, it's a bit awkward to be fair. We've extended. I was taking longs until we got to the 76.4. Let's have a look at pound yen. I was buying pound yen up to 140 until we got to 140. Yeah, that's it really. Only for his banter, just to see what he gets up to, because it's funny. He's entertaining.
Where do you find him?
Instagram.
Oh, Instagram, okay.
The whole world is on Instagram now. Sharing all of their Ferraris, and actually you don't see many Ferraris these days, do you? It's all Lambos these days. Everyone has a Lambo SUV as well. Seeing all these nice cars, or the same car in different colours, it reminds me of a little Fiat 500 where you can customise it and have a million different styles. You can make it your own. It kind of just kills it. When you see too many of something, the novelty wears off, doesn't it? It's just, yeah. When you live in London, when you live around my way, everyone's got a Lambo, everyone's got an Aston Martin, Maserati, Ferraris. You'll always hear the engine draw. Yeah. Just sit and have a coffee and watch, and just count how many high performance sports cars you see. You'll probably see like 5 to 10 Lambos, a load of Aston Martins. Everyone's got a Porsche as their run around car, especially the Panamera, to fit the kids in, just for the wife or whoever to do the school run. That's quite funny. Yeah. So what are we doing here? Are we going down? We look like we're coming off. We look like the 764 strategy's got to come into play. I think we might have a little go here. Maybe have a go on shorting the pound yen, and maybe even have a go at the pound dollar. Put a little tight stop on it. 50 EMA on the 5 minute. Let's see it break that 50. It's going to test it, isn't it?
What time frame are you looking at?
All of them,
Um,
in case you hadn't noticed.
it's hard to see you doing something.
Yeah, that's alright. Okay, so... Wow. We're getting a bit of a push down as well, and the stock market's interesting. So they're actually selling off. American markets are selling off a little bit off these highs. What have we got here? Let's have a look at this bullish price action. So we're getting a bit of a pullback. What sort of a pullback are we going to see on these pound pairs? It's a pullback nonetheless. It's not anything else. It's just a pullback at best. It might just stay in this range up to the highs here and just go all the way back up. It's a counter trend move. 20 minutes on this hour, so let's see what sort of move we get. Needs to stay below 140. There we go, a little push. That's what we want to see, a little bit of a nudge down. Come on, break. Okay, we're starting to see some movement as we get into the US session. US traders are coming online. Just again, I can't really justify doing anything more than take a few scalps here and there. But good though. So pretty much testing that 76.4 on the pound dollar. Comfortably tested it on the pound yen. And on the pound yen it's at 140, about 05, shall we say. And on the pound dollar it was at 134.65. So we're having a bit of a pullback, bit of a reaction. But because it's been so bullish, the problem with taking a counter trend trade is that it can easily flick back up. Not easily, but you know, it can easily find some support at any level. It doesn't have to give you a deep retracement. Yeah, so it may find something like a 38.2 at best and then bounce from there. And the trouble I have with this is finding where best to say, you know, where's the range? Which range do we use? Which low do we take? When you start looking at smaller time frames, it's like this is a 15-minute chart on the pound yen. To me, that's I guess we have to just use yesterday's move up. No, yesterday, sorry, this morning's move up. Let's get 3 points of contact on this trend line. About there. So that just connects there and there. So let's do some 15-minute analysis on pound yen.
Were you drawing your fibs from?
Yeah, this was what I was going to say. I'm taking it from that last swing low, which was this morning, around 7:15 London time.
Yeah, but I've got it there as well. So I've put in a few.
So we're looking at 139.80 area, the low 80s for a decent pullback. We'll see. Yeah. If it can gather, you know, if it does gather some pace and momentum to the downside, I'd like to see it give it all back and get down to 139.40 area on the pound yen. 139.50. 139.50 if it can do it. But yeah, so it may just faff around here and consolidate and go back up and test the highs, and you know, who knows. Got to wait for some volume to come in to give us something.
You know what? It's still up there on the way down. So. Nasdaq's still moving lower. I'm hoping it'll climb before it goes further.
Does anyone want to explore anything else? I've got my eyes on gold, US stock markets, and European markets like the the DAX, the German DAX, and the UK FTSE. And then I have my eyes on all the pound and euro pairs. The ones I have up on displays: pound dollar, pound yen. Because I'm watching this, watching price as it's coming off the highs and giving us a bit of a correction to the downside now. So we're in a little bit of a downtrend, which is quite nice. We're going to see what sort of a downtrend we get. Anyone who shorted pound pairs, what are your targets? So pound CAD, pound Swiss, what were you looking at taking off those?
Well, I'm going long, so
On what?
retracements, buy limits on the way down.
On what? Pound?
Pound,
don't know. To be fair, it's not one of those that I can comfortably do and say, yeah, I'll do that. I need for price to actually be at the lows to buy it back up, or like here at the highs to short it back down, but not to sort of guesstimate and catch the move down and buy at certain intervals unless it gives me what I need. The just Boris Johnson going over to Europe doesn't mean anything. He's going to have some dinner this evening and try and talk to the head of the EU. I forget her name. Lagarde, is it?
Yeah, something.
So the negotiators have not achieved anything, but his job is on the line if he can't. If, it may put pressure on him as a prime minister if he can't achieve something. So I think he does want to come away with some sort of a deal, but yeah, good luck with that. So for me, any move, wow, there's a nice little pump up. Any little move up on the pound pairs are just basically going to be a liquidity grab, maybe, or a decent setup for a nice big sell-off. Because if he doesn't finalise a deal, then pound will weaken. It's not going to be bullish, because coming away from Europe without a deal is not good, really, not good at all. Volume's really thin. Okay, so just keep an eye on what's going on. Just going to mute my mic. It's very quiet at the moment. See what happens.
So, Alex, if you were shorting the pound yen, those fibs that you drew on the last year bar, would you use them, the various levels, as places to short if the front stays areas of resistance that show support?
Yeah, if I could get some clarity in terms of what it wants to do, I can see that it was bullish from yesterday. So yesterday it gave us an initial daily candle, which was nice, a nice reversal candle, and then today was a clean push up. So we've had a nice move up. The daily's been quite clean for that. But that's it. This is the move. As far as I'm concerned, this is it. It's played out. It's done what it had to do. Are we going to see further upsides? I don't know. Can we see a decent sell-off from here? Well, yeah, potentially. And to where? Well, ideally, I'd like to see a sell-off down to retest the lows. But the daily's going to remain bullish until tomorrow. So we're just going to keep waiting for Boris Johnson to make a decision on what's what. And I don't know what time the dinner is, but of course it's going to happen tonight when all the traders have gone home. But I'm sure that some will just stick around to see what happens with the pound, and maybe we'll have some late night evening trades, or price action. We'll see, really. So it's been quite nice, the fact that we had a setup to take the long and to be bullish on pound today. It's nice that we've had some bullish momentum, and if you made some money on that, great. I'd say sit in your hands now and just wait for the next setup.
Yeah, I'm already up. I had that trade going from the US.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. It's quite. It can be quite slow, quite time-consuming. Aussie pairs. They can.
I posted the chart in the Aussie USD Discord if you want.
I haven't really looked on the Discord in detail at anything much since yesterday. I was just flat out busy yesterday, doing stuff, and then just doing chores, doing things that needed to be done. By the time I got back, it was late afternoon, so I didn't really do a great deal. And then I was tired, very tired. I had a gym session as well. It was when you do things like the calisthenics and the CrossFit and a lot of reps. It was a lot of reps yesterday. It was a 35-minute time cap, so it was 10 pull-ups, 20 thrusters. So you pick up the bar from the floor and you literally lift it above your head and extend it and do that 20 times, and then 30 lunges. So you put that same bar on your shoulders and you squat, but you lunge.
How heavy is the bar?
Well, the bar's a standard 20 kilo bar, and I had 35 key weight on it altogether. So 12 and a half, 12 and a half. That was, yeah, and that was 5 times. We repeated that. So 2-minute rest, so you do it. So I was trying to do a 5 minutes, completing about 4 or 5 minutes on average. The first 3 sets were good, and we were going well. But by the 4th and 5th set, that was it. I was done. I was contemplating taking some weight off because the weight was just doing me in, and I knew I was going to be in bits today. It was quite funny. So, but I made sure I just finished it. So we do that 10, 20, 30, rest for 2 minutes, and then do it again, 5 times. And like I say, by the 4th set, I was done, and I was no longer completing each round within sort of 4 to 5 minutes. So I just thought, you know what, I either take the weight off and get a decent time on this, which is a bit pointless, or I just continue as I'm going along, but try and finish it within the time. I've done it. 34:27 was my time, so it was all right. It's good. See, look, so pound just showing you again the strength in these pound moves. So we've had the pullback, and then it just goes in, moves up like 10 pips, 12 pips, 13 pips. It's still. It's very difficult to buy up here, though. In this range, it's not a good range to be buying in. It's not, unless you bought it from the 10 pips ago and could move your stop to break even. It's all a little bit scalpers market. This is where traders can overtrade and lose money. How many people here go to the gym or do some form of exercise, ride a bike, jog, whatever?
I get in these moods where I'll do it for like 6 weeks and I don't do it for 3 months.
Used to like the gym before the virus. Yeah. Okay, so it is a retracement from bullish trend in monthly time frame. It has broken its monthly bullish trend. Oh, it hasn't broken its monthly bullish trend. Yeah, no. Buy low if you want to swing trade gold, or why trade in between. Yeah, fair enough. Bit of running, some kettlebells. Okay, yeah, good. Anybody take this long on the pound? Back up into the little range? Any little scalps long here?
You grab your reference and liquidity grab.
Yeah, I can appreciate that it's all going to get a little bit choppy and a little bit sideways while we consolidate up here at the highs on the pound pairs. So it doesn't really present much opportunity for trades beyond maybe catching these little impulsive moves on the smaller time frames and maybe scalping for 5 to 10 pips at best. As for the actual move, it's played out nicely. It's all gone long today, and that was the move that's done. You want to try and get on it for a little bit higher here. I'd say that's, that becomes quite risky. It doesn't make sense, does it? It's common sense. It doesn't make sense to buy it here. Will we see a bit of a sell-off? Yeah, possibly. When? Maybe later this evening. Maybe once Boris Johnson arrives to try and negotiate, which doesn't look very hopeful. But you never know with these things, right? You just never know. And then tomorrow, we are looking at the start of a conference, kind of a seminar meeting with all of the EU countries. They're going to talk about their annual budget, so they're going to look at forecasting, they're going to look at what they're going to spend, what they've spent, where they're going to look to make their money back, perhaps stimulus, whatever, for the whole of Europe. So that starts tomorrow, and that runs for, I think till the weekend, or a couple of days, or yeah. So I think that's why they were trying to get this Brexit deal sorted out beforehand. Does anyone have any questions, or is anyone in anything? Anyone want to analyse anything? I'll just waiting. Just mute my mic.
There's a lot of wicks on the 3-minute chart on the pound here.
Yeah, what time frame?
15.
Yeah, to the upside. Yeah, where it's just failing, rejecting. Yeah.
Good sign. How would you trade that, Alex?
Well, I'm not. So I can't trade that.
Okay, you're not trading it.
No, I tried to short it. I tried to short the pound yen, and I took a little bit off it, and it just stalled. But we're talking a few pips. I was looking for it to actually make a decisive move, and it didn't, so I left it. And it was a counter trend move, so I was being very careful. I'm waiting for the news, really. I'm waiting for some clarity. I took some longs on it this morning, made a little bit. Lost a bit trying to take trades elsewhere, and so just sitting slightly below break even, and not really done anything. Just waiting for some trades to set up, because I was silly, really. I overtraded. I took some money off the pound and should have just stuck with that. I was looking at the FTSE for a move. And I wasn't patient enough. Got to bear in mind that things are perhaps not going to be as fluid or liquid as you'd like it to be as we go nearer towards Christmas. So I think like yesterday was sweet and Monday was really good. I just did some trading in the morning, London, made some money, and then the rest of the day I was just sitting in a bit of a, you're ahead and just you can go about your business. Yesterday, like I said, I thought I'd go and do some stuff because I tried to do some trading in the morning. It wasn't happening, so I left it. And then came back just after the US session and made a little bit there. And ended the day in a little bit of profit. So, but today I'm on a bit of the back foot because I just can't seem to break into profit, which is a little bit annoying. So I've kind of gone and had a break, had some food, and come back and just going to wait and see if we can grab something out of this movement with the US Open, which will be in about an hour's time or so.
The US Euro seems to be a little bit range bound on the 4 hour. Not that I want to trade it, but there's a few good movements if you go into the smaller time frame, there's some really good movements.
Yes, it's when you say it depends your style of trading. What do you regard as being good? How many pips is good?
15, 20.
Yeah,
Always been better than that as a bonus. You could put in a 1 or 2 lots on that.
wow, just
Not bad.
yeah.
You just can't see. When you go to 15-minute charts, it's too difficult to read.
Yeah, it's sort of just waiting for better price action, really. Well, I thought I'd come on a little early, and I thought I would maybe then look to discuss anything you guys wanted to discuss, look at anything that you're interested in looking at. It's pretty dead. There's nothing happening at the moment.
Gold's still thinking about it, isn't it?
Gold is breaking up. It's having a go, isn't it? Trying to have a go to the upside.
I reckon it does. We're off it off to 38. Lucky it's actually moved down to the 70 on the 1 hour.
And what's that? What, gold?
With the market. Yeah. That move on the 1 hour
Yeah.
hasn't been tested anymore.
Oh, so you think further downside, another swing down on gold?
Yeah, given that move, that massive move up, just feel like it wants to close it. By the way, it's sort of trading a couple of lower highs on the way down there. Lower lows and lower highs in the last couple of hours. But then again, it is gold, isn't it? So I can just decide to sell around. If you,
Yeah, so we're getting some moves like this. We have a move and then it kind of just drops and goes dead. So let me just. You alright, Dad? You alright? What's that? Right. Would anybody like to have a look at anything else whilst we're waiting? Does anyone have any questions? Any thoughts on perhaps gold? Where to next? Gold's trying to nudge up here. Will it go, or will it just fail again? I wonder. See if it's going to break or just drop.
That's another lower high. Three in a row.
Yeah.
Big win.
Is it a trend? Is it?
I think three lower high.
Yeah. Well, we caught a little bit of that scalp just now as it pumped up. So I got in at 60.4, and we just closed it for a quick 10 pips, and it's, yeah, so that It's all right. It says, but I can't really bring myself to hold anything at the moment. Beyond that, yeah, that's just the current volume and the price action at the moment. So we'll get these little moves very. Small risk, maybe put a 5-10 pips stop on and just try and catch a little break, a little move, a little pump, stuff like that. I'm not really seeing anything else. It's not even worth trading. It's just, I think that's more me just being boredom trading, which we,
When you place your trade, do you automatically have a mechanism
So
to it?
I pull up the ticket and I straight away put in the stop loss where I would like to put the stop loss in, so I know what my risk is going to be. And then sometimes I put a target in, sometimes I won't. It just depends where I see the levels of support or resistance. So what I'm aiming for is going to be close, or how far away, and give it a chance to kind of just do what it needs to do. So if it can find some support here and start going up, that would be interesting to see a reversal on the daily. But it's on the daily at least we have a bearish candle so far on gold. So yeah, it feels a little bit. Price action doesn't feel like we're going to get a decisive move maybe until the US traders come in. So in about an hour's time or so, but they're certainly here, and the US Open is soon. See what they want to do. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. On these smaller time frames, you'll see a lot of noise, and it won't give you any clarity. Not at the moment, anyway. We just need to see what happens with the open, or when we get some more volume coming. Maybe, like I say, maybe over the next hour, we might get some action. Oh, okay. Interesting. Pound pairs are having another stab up here. Pound pairs are retesting the highs.
They are indeed. Well, it's very quiet and there's not many traders about either, so maybe we'll stick around for another half an hour and see what happens, if anything happens, and then maybe just finish there for the day, or at least finish for the live session. There's not much, we don't need to really talk about too much or cover very much. We've done a lot of that over the last few weeks. So I'm just going to mute the mic and just continue to watch. That's a nice little bit of volume coming into the pound pairs, just pouring in as it continues to be bullish. Wow, look at that. That's just ridiculous. Oh, lovely. Right, what's been said? Anything? Have we seen any news? This is great, but yeah, not really making anything of it. No news, no.
Nah, just a bit more volume to the upside. They're just confirming that they want to keep taking the pound up, which is fine. So it consolidated and it's strong. This is what I was saying about the trying to take a counter trend trade. You just don't know when and how it becomes unpredictable. So you just go with the trend, and if you know, basically people try and call tops and bottoms on when they're trading. They always try and immediately we get a move up, and instead of just going with it, people just start looking for where it's going to stop and reverse, and it's like, yeah, just trying to jump the gun a little and get ahead of it. Just go with the flow. Just go with whatever it's doing. Far easier.
Like having stop there. I will be in touch there.
Maybe it's just a stab up now, and we'll get who knows? Maybe we'll get a continuation long, or maybe that'll be the end of the move to the upside. Difficult to say, really, but yeah, it's been some good volume. I think the US traders didn't want to feel left out, so they took a piece as well by taking it long. So there was a long move this morning, another bit of bullish momentum this afternoon. Who knows what's going to happen next? It's funny. I've been using quite tight stops and looking at small impulsive moves, and just really scalping some smaller moves, which require a lot more effort, and yes, it's just a bit boring, to be fair. It's not a nice way to be trading. especially when the markets are like this, pretty slow and flat, and you get these impulsive moves, and then it, just as you prepare to get on it, the move's pretty much done. So it's not how you want to trade, really. Alright, so that's that. Let's see, so that's that one, and let's see if we can do. So as we come into the US session, wouldn't it be funny if we just saw a nice big sell-off on the pound pairs after this initial pump up? This being the last gasp move, a bit of a liquidity grab, bit of a rally, spike up, wash and rinse kind of move, suck in some buyers, and then sell off. That's what that could be about. Obviously, it's giving it back. It's just a case of how much of this impulsive move up will it give back. If it finds some support, then and starts going back up, then so be it. It'll stay bullish. But if it breaks, then we may see a deeper move down, a much bigger retracement. We shall see. It's looking pretty good to the downside because it's moving quite fast back down now. It seems to be turning. So, but we'll see. Could just be that there's more traders coming in. I'm slightly in profit on a long on the UK stock market, slightly just above break even really, and I had what was that? What were we talking to just over a 5 ticks stop on it, and it came within half a pip of just stopping me out, and now it's back up. Just allowed it to swing down. So I'm thinking that this is going to go up, and maybe we'll see some downside on pound pairs. Maybe I'm just watching US markets as they try and pump back up a little bit now. So we'll see. It's all a little bit. It's all a little bit of a patient game at the moment.
Yubi's been very quiet.
Yubi, yeah, because
Oh, Yubi.
he trades 24/7. You can always find him awake at some hour. I don't know when he squeezes in any sleep time. Does a lot though.
Bit like myself, actually. I'll trade the Asian session sometimes and then move into the London.
And then stick around for the US.
Yeah.
Funny you say that for today, because I'm on 1 hour with today.
There you go, 1 hour.
It's not looking too good, man. So
That's
I had like
It's plenty of sleep.
Yeah.
this is a power nap.
You got anything on, Yubi?
No, I was like I think I was up for 1 or 2%. A couple days ago, I just took my trades and followed my strategy and everything else. But the thing is, I think because of greed, I entered more positions, and then so whatever I have earned, I have lost in a matter of hours. So I think it's best not to do that, especially because I'm still like around what 0.5% less risk since the 9.5% risk is there because I've spent like a month getting it down that much. So now I have 2.5 left to work with.
Was that on your FT1 account?
Yeah, exactly.
You got 0.5% left to go before your
Before my max daily drawdown is hit.
max daily.
Yeah, so with the other two criterion, I don't see them as impossible to follow. Like I find them quite cohesive to follow. So the 10 minimum trading days, the max daily loss. Yeah, as long as you look at your equity, max daily loss shouldn't be a problem at all. But it's if you had a losing streak, and especially for me, more than a losing streak, it was psychology. Then yeah, it was just so that you'll have a losing streak. And well, as a company like Eskimo, I guess they're looking to mitigate the risk, right? So a thorough evaluation makes sense, especially managing that much capital. Is someone placing trades?
Not me.
And on
I'm moving to the stop.
oh, okay.
He's loading up.
Did you
He's going all in.
I think I've lost it. I need to sleep.
Yeah, I think you can't trade if you're not sleeping, and if you haven't got a routine, it's just going to it's going to mess you up completely. You can suffer a lot of complications health-wise and the rest of it by doing this. Need to have a system, a routine.
Yeah,
It
it's
needs.
just that
You won't, you know.
where I find it hard is finding harmony because see like school is what it's usually like a day thing, so like anywhere between 9 to 5 Canadian time. And for me, I find the most interest in the markets in the London session and the New York session, which is between 3 to 12 respectively. And I was also trying to do like a part-time job to like kind of fund everything else
Yeah,
with school. So after having like only so many hours in a day,
yeah.
I find it hard to sleep sometimes. And then if I'm not, if I don't do one of them, I feel like I pay attention to one of them too much. So I'm just still trying to figure out everything. So
If if sleep wasn't an option or like an issue, a necessity, which session would suit you best? Which would work best for you?
Asia, but I don't at all.
Yeah. How about the US session? Are you not awake during the US session? Is it not morning for you?
US session, yeah. So like 9:30 to 4 approximately, right?
Yeah, is it not better then for you to focus on just sleeping at night, getting up in the morning early, like 6 o'clock, and trading the US session?
It's just that with the US session, I noticed like okay, so the London session will have its like certain patterns, and I find those are more cohesive to the trend. And see, the way I'm trying to trade now is kind of trend following rather than trend pullback. So when like looking at the great scheme of things, like I see significantly more like trend cohesive trades in the London session rather than the New York session necessarily.
Okay.
So yeah, that's like my reasoning behind why I chose the London session despite my time zone.
Yeah. I was thinking that if you can just focus on one trade, one pair, and make some money off it. So like if we have pound pairs moving and you pick one and you make some money off it, then that's it. You could be done for the day.
That's a pretty good suggestion as well.
And then you're spending 80% of the time doing other things, 20% just to trade, because otherwise you're just at the moment you're spending 80% of your time trading, and that's not working for you. And
One thing I can take away from it is it has helped me learn a lot in a very short amount of time, I would say.
yeah, people keep telling me that
The goal of it
that
is
yeah, yeah.
say that again.
People keep telling me that, or I notice that people say that, and it seems like they think they're learning. It's like, well, that's good, if you are learning. It's about what you take away from it and what you can do with what you've learned. Can you actually, can you monetize it? Can you turn it into a profit? Can you actually say, hand on heart, I've learnt this, for example, and this is going to make me this money, or you know what I mean? It's like what level of learning and what sort of learning and what have you learnt? People might say, "Oh, I learnt from a loss," and it's like, "Yeah, that's cool. So what are you going to do different next time?" And so yeah, it is a process, and it may take you a long time. But as long as you are able to sort of clearly define what you have learnt and take some important points from it, then great. I'm really happy for you if you can do that.
Yeah. In terms of learning, I kind of have to go back and kind of evaluate what I took away from the last month and a half
Yeah,
um, in the grand scheme of things. Because just like we were taught to monitor our trading, I think it's good for me to sort of gauge my progress as well.
yeah. As long as you're journalising every day, putting down what happened, what you did right, what you did wrong, where's the need for improvement. Just treat it as a business. Look at the cost cutting exercises that are often made by businesses, companies. In this case, looking at reducing your losses and reducing your mistakes and just seeing what works. I mean, I think one thing's for definite: you can't trade if you haven't had any sleep. If you've only been, on 1 hour sleep, for example, that's not going to work. that needs to be addressed and sorted out. You need to pick a time and have a routine and say I want to sleep during that time and trade during that time and do that religiously, and so it becomes a routine and less of a thing to worry about. And if this is where we talk about the 80% spent doing other things and self-development and making sure that you've got stuff like that working for you.
Yeah. Sort of fitting in the two times. There's one thing I've realized is the like this month, the thing that has been the most consequential towards my trading was gold as a great scheme of looking on the grand scheme of things.
Yeah,
So I was looking at like the breakdown of where the losses come from,
yeah,
and so out of the 9.5%, like 8.5% come from gold. So like technically speaking, everything else kind of broke even or just a little under. It's just gold that really pushed me to the
yeah,
breaking point.
yeah. It's a very volatile market, and if you get it right, great. If you get it wrong, it can be catastrophic, which obviously you've established. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. See what happens next few days. See what happens today. It's a bit of a struggle trading during these market conditions. I don't think anyone's missing out on anything too much. I don't really see anybody making much money either during these days, unless they set a trade and leave it, set and forget, and just let it do its thing. Put a stop on the target. The smaller time frames are not helping. The smaller time frames are just causing a distraction, and yeah, it's not good, not good at all. What's the time? So 1:47. So we have about 45 minutes to the US Open. I think that if anybody wants to do anything else, we can. I think I'm going to mute my mic and possibly even finish for the day and just see if I can trade the US Open for see if it does anything, see if we get any movement, and then just finish for the day, because I'm not really feeling it today. It's not really giving me anything exciting to do. Is anyone in anything?
Yeah, a lot of the positions or rather pairs I'm seeing right now, they're all in a kind of like a stalemate situation that you don't really that like it could go any way, right? So
Just have to look at the higher time frames for direction. The smaller time frames are just deceiving. They are, yeah, they're not giving you clarity. So the higher time frames are dragging everything at the moment, and then the smaller time frames will play catch up. And when they start to do that, that's good. You jump on it, which is usually the way, isn't it? But yeah, I'm finding these smaller time frames not very helpful.
and like yeah, a lot of pairs I've been seeing some solid situations like CAD, JPY, zero JPY.
Yeah,
I don't know. I try to avoid pairs with minimal movement. I sort of keep them out of my trading view. Pair. like I had a general exchange question for you, or just general exchange rates.
Uh huh. Yeah.
So, my dad, he works for this one company, and essentially they have, uh, you know, COVID, they just chose to keep most of their, revenue in liquid capital. But the thing is, like, most of their liquid capital is in USD. And so what happened is it's just sitting there, right? And they want to turn it over back to CAD. But at the bank, his boss has asked for it to be exchanged like a locked in rate of 1.30, and like me personally looking at it, like I don't know if that's like is that too optimistic, or is that like something that could be achieved? Obviously nothing is for certain, but
Yeah. I think stuff like that is down to them. Usually, when I go and exchange money, or when I deal with things outside, personal, everyday, normal stuff, it's about negotiating and finding the best deals, and finding people that you can rely upon to work with. If that's something that they're trying to do, and I'm sure that they're going to look to do a good deal, right? If you feel like there's somebody concerned, are there any concerns with this?
no,
Um,
it's just the fact that um because it's like something around 2 mil, so at each decimal point is like affecting it. Um, so it's just a matter of either, losing out on the exchange, or, gaining on the exchange. And so his boss is essentially, he's going under the dilemma of, he doesn't want to lose, so he wants to exchange it at 1.30. But like it could quite possibly go down for longer periods of time. So like like when it was at 1.3985, he should have most likely just exchanged it, but like he just chose not to, like his boss. So
yeah, yeah, sure. I mean, again, it's just one of those to have a discussion about, isn't it? It's just not something that I don't know. I don't know what I could tell you really. It's not something that I can advise and say you should do this, this, and this. I don't know these people. I don't know how they are to deal with. I don't know what's in it for them. I don't know the whole story, the whole picture. So who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I mean, people trying to secure a decent rate when they're changing money up. That's always the important thing, I guess. But yeah, don't know what to say to you, mate. I've got a few more questions coming through on YouTube. Somebody says, volume, is the volume better? Sorry, is the volume a bit low? I wasn't talking very loudly because there isn't much going on. Yeah, what do you think, UB? And Rindle, yeah, yesterday was just a choppy day with the pound pairs because we're waiting on the Brexit news. So it's good that you stop trading, because if you're trying to go up and it's going down, and trying to go down and it's going up, and you're thinking, what is going on? It's reflected with the fundamentals. You've got the Brexit affecting the pound pairs. So yeah. What do you think, UB? What do you think about locking in 130? Who benefits the most from that?
on what?
You said the rate was they were looking at exchange rate of 130.
Oh, it's just the overall company, they're just looking to, because essentially their customers are American, but we're in Canada, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of their transactions are, or payments and stuff, are through. the US, and so they just, you know, just because we're going to end up using it either way, um, the company was looking to, you know, keep it in a currency where the value would be like hold for longer in a way. So
You put George to sleep.
is that George?
That's George. He loves to have a little snooze at his desk. Hey George, wake up. It's not yet 3 o'clock in the morning. Still early for you. Well, that's what he thinks today. That's, yeah.
Where's George from?
He is in Australia. And so it is about 3. What's the time? It's actually 1 o'clock, coming up to 1 o'clock in the morning there. Yes.
Okay, I guess it kind of makes sense.
Right. Let's leave it there. I think that's a good cue to actually put our feet up. Maybe go and have a cup of tea and watch the US Open and just see how the markets react. Because this is all a little bit choppy, a little bit flat, a little bit messy. We've had some decent movement this morning coming into this afternoon on the pound pairs, and then that they've sort of had a little go, and that's it. They've stopped and given it all back. That little pump up that we had within this last hour. So that's all a little bit dead, to be fair, isn't it? Unless anyone has any final questions, I don't think there's anything else that we should get excited about, to be fair. It's just one of those days, isn't it? I think things will kick off and come to life in the new year, because right now we're in, it's Christmas month, so people are out doing other things, Christmas shopping, prioritising other aspects of their lives. See, that's what George thinks about the markets. Right, let's let's leave it there then. I don't think any final questions? Anybody want to chuck any questions out there? Final questions? Anything else? George is telling me that he's it's time to finish. Right, good. All right. Well, I will catch you guys tomorrow. If you have any questions, just just send me a Telegram message. Telegram's the best way to get in touch. At ALX, so abbreviated Alex, basically. People call me ALX. I'm like, well, you do realise my name's Alex, so ALX. It's like, oh, right, and they don't get that. It's like, yep. Yeah. _TYW. Trade Your Way is my user for Telegram. Best way to get us, I think. Right. Let's do a message here for everyone before I sign off. _TYW. So catch me on there, because the Telegram's always on, because I have it linked up on my phone, so I always get those messages. The best way to chat with people, and yeah, all good. All right, have a great enjoy the rest of your day or night. Sweet dreams, George. Right, take care, everyone. Bye for now. Oh, that was funny.